All right, boys and girls, if you're going to paint your onomatopoeia art, which I would suggest, you might have this Crayola Education watercolors mixing set. Inside the set, besides the brush, are these directions here, and it tells you how to make the colors that are not there. Like you can make primary red, okay, and you use the side of your paint pan to make the color. I'm going to make my word pop red by mixing magenta or red violet with, and you want to make sure you rinse in between, this is red orange. So you can actually get your red if you want a red, okay? All of the instructions, and you would want to mix it here on the side. All of your instructions are on the watercolor set here, okay? Right here, okay? So it tells you all of that. Now, with your painting, okay, you also want to have a wipe or a paper towel on hand for blotting. Again, we're going to be working from the inside out. So I made like kind of like a nice cherry red. And you want to make sure that you have a good amount of paint on your brush, but not so much that it might go outside the line. If you do, you can blot it. Blotting with a paper towel or a wipe means you just press firmly on top of the paint spill or going outside the line. And let me make sure that you can see this. And you touch it briefly. You don't spread it, okay? So I'm using the red that I made using the magenta and the red orange to paint in the word pop red. Lichtenstein used a lot of primary colors, which are your red, yellow, and blue. So I'm going to stick with that mostly. You don't have to. I'm not going to say in the past we have done that, but if you want to do a different color scheme, you can. When you're painting, you might notice here that I'm using my left hand that I'm not painting with to hold the painting still. Also, I'm leaning my hand on the rest of the drawing, and I'm painting so it guides me. I'm not holding I'm not holding my brush in midair because you don't have that much control. For a lot of us, might be our first time painting this year. So remember, you want to paint in the direction of the line. Take your time, and you don't want to have too much water in your brush. You should make just enough for yourself to use for what you need here. And if you do go outside the line, sometimes you don't even need to blot. Like I'm not going to even need to blot near this P. You could just make your Sharpie line a little bit thicker, and that'll actually give it even a little bit more of a 3D effect. So basically I'm using the tip of the brush to paint my word pop. And I would suggest that you do paint your word one color, please. I really would like to hang these up for expo. So even if you're doing this at home, I really would love for you to drop this off. I'm going to give out a date if these are really come out nice to hang in the hallway. So you want to make sure that your colors are even and nice and bright, like a nice cherry red. Okay? So the space behind your word should be white. That's the only thing I'm going to ask of you, is that you make the space behind pop white so that it stands out. Okay? And make sure you rinse thoroughly between each color. Make sure you don't have any white spots. You really only want to touch it up when it's wet. So just try to like finish the word during the class period. It's trying to finish that color that if you had to mix a color to make like this cherry red. Okay. Also, please make sure that you rinse thoroughly between each color. And when you are done, okay, you want to make sure you rinse, dry it, leave your paintbrush flat, and then when you're done with your color red, it's best if you just clean it out the day of that you're using it, so that you have like a nice clean background for the next time. And if the colors mix, you want to blot it, okay? So I think I did get a little magenta in here and a little red orange in here, okay? So I am going to paint the rest of this and fast forward so you don't have to hear me talk and you could just watch. Well, the camera wasn't recording while I was painting this blue, so I'm just going to do some touching up here. And I know you didn't see it, but I was rotating the painting as I was going around, okay? And now what I'm going to do is wash my brush and move on to the other colors. I'm going to repeat the red and yellow.